Hello guys, I am back from another video and today we're talking about what if I was in My Hero Academia. So, in the last video, after Hajime defeated, Izumi in the battle, or should I say Hajime, started picking his hero name for his internship at, Endeavor's agency. And so, he picked this hero name. The hero name, Deadeye. So, after picking this hero name, he started looking through of the internships and decided to go for Endeavors because obviously. So, after doing that and also doing a few jobs, he gets the word that, some suspicious people have been going around. And when he fought those people, they looked suspiciously like one of them had pink skin and one broken horn and one ripped out eye. And the only eye that she has seems to be pure golden like Mina's, especially with especially with the green skin and one horn. The other seems to have well a hardening quirk similar to Kirishima. So Hajime is thinking that they're actually bad guys. But there's going to be a police investigation very soon. So, after telling that to Endeavor, they get the word that the League of Villains have been attacking. And so, that is where we end off that video. And so, let's talk about what happens next. So, we go to a different perspective. And this perspective was in the eyes of Endeavor. Endeavor leading the charge towards the, League of Villains as he sees, well, her. Izuku Midoriya, or Izumi Midoriya in this universe, because if you don't know, and if you didn't realize, or you're new here, Izumi is is basically this version of Izuku. Instead of being a boy, he's a girl, and, she's a villain, because, why the hell not? Well, she's not the only villain in this What If. That's also in Izuku. So, this Izumi Midoriya, she says this. Now, League of Villains, terrorize this place, burn this place to the ground. I want them to feel fear. I want those heroes to be crucified. Actually, not crucified, buried. And so, these Nomu started charging in at the heroes as Endeavor starts blasting them with fire. Not Izuku, I meant Hajime. God damn it. I meant Hajime was basically taking them down with his axe and using his gun in conjunction with that, throwing both his axes at one of the Nobu's heads while he uses his gun at the other long-ranged, Nomus. After doing that, he grabs the axes from the, Nobu's head and starts slashing them in close range. As one of them, being a girl, was looking out, seeing this, saying this. So, sister, it's quite annoying seeing these pathetic little heroes doing whatever the hell they want. Right, sister? As this woman, clad in armor, specifically just her arms and legs, and seems to be wearing a military style uniform from Germany, as she says this, Jawohl. It's absolutely annoying. It makes me sick how these heroes. It makes me sick. As this other woman, wearing a surprisingly really, really unfashionable jacket, specifically like a jacket that's basically for like winter, even though it's not even winter time. As she wields her gigantic ass sword, as she says this, yeah, it's absolutely annoying, right? Still, as she says this, that's right, Stille. As she looks over and says this, this soon, but soon, this world will be taken over by hell. After all, we are the inverted knights. We learn, we adapt, and we destroy those who dare oppose us. As this woman by the name of Stella says this, agreed, sister. As she says this, now, for that boy over there, this Hajime Katsuki, right? As she would say this, yes, apparently he was a clone of our great and glorious leader. As she says this, really? Huh? So, he's just a copy of, well, our great and glorious leader's father. As she says this, exactly. As she says this will be quite interesting when I get to fight him. As she says this, as usual, sister, you're always like fighting. As she was says this, she says this, she says this. You're the one to talk, sister. You're always lazy. Even though you assassinate, you'll always prefer to do it the quick and efficient way. As she says this, right? That is why I'm the greatest assassin ever. Unlike you, the greatest, brutalist, specifically. As she says this, whatever, let us go. Our watch time is done. And so, they disappear in that gate. So, back to, well, Hajime. Hajime hurling fireballs, purple fireballs, thanks to the help of Adonius, as he calls upon Anwei to create ice and snow. This ice freezes the Nomus in place, spearing them, like stabbing and impaling them with, well, ice spikes. As one of them hears a sound, as they hear the sound of a large Nomu. This one with several heads, several eyes, several arms, and, well, terrifying mouths that breathe out fire. Yeah, you probably know what is the inspiration for that thing is. So, it starts throwing balls of pure flame as, well, Hajime starts shooting at one of its heads, but it still keeps growing as she says this. Sorry, but you can't kill it unless if you kill it by destroying every single one of its heads. So, but it probably won't happen because Hajime would say this. Why didn't you just say so? As he just jumps onto one of the roofs as he calls upon Adonius. As he says this, Adonius, bring out the meteor. As, well, Adonius would wave his staff. As a gigantic meteor appears made from purple fire. As he tells Adonius to bring it down. As the Nomu was crushed under that flaming meteor in an instant. As she says this, being, well, Izumi, why do I have a big mouth? As, well, Hajime goes closer to her and says this. So, why are you doing this? Why? As she says this. I told you, heroes are nothing more than dead puppets. They're nothing more than government's little pawns. And it's my turn to show them that the government doesn't need these heroes, but they need real heroes like me. You're just all controlled by them, by these stupid heroes. As Hajime would say this, alright, that's enough. As he would grab, well, one of his axes and gets ready to strike at her, as she gets teleported away by Konagiri. As Konagiri would say this, I'm sorry about my master, Mr. Hajime, right? I think she's a bit angry at you for rejecting her. As he would say this, what do you mean by that, Mr. As he says this, Konigiri. Konigiri. So, I wanted to ask, if you do seek to become our ally, you know where to call us. As he gives him a card. A card that labels a phone number. As he says this, "Goodbye, sir." As he disappears, teleported away. As several of the heroes start coming towards him, as several of the heroes just start saying what happened there and what did he do, as he would give this card to Endeavor, as Endeavor would see it, as he would say this: "I should tell Nezu about that, and also the police." As so, they were told to leave because it's finally time for them to leave the agency, and so they started leaving. So, after that whole week of craziness, they were told on the news that Ida was surprisingly killed, and also with the hero native. When Izuku was not Izuku, I meant Hajime. God damn it! When Hajime and the rest of Class 1A were told of this, they were devastated. It turns out the person that killed them was never caught, but they did find some evidence on who did it. It definitely seemed to have a quirk that's similar to a fire quirk, but when they saw the burn marks, well, the burn marks almost resemble, well, how flames would appear for, well, napalm, and we don't know what this is. Basically like flammable glue. Like if you get sprayed by some or get thrown like a bottle of napalm, and it gets sets on fire. Well, you can't even get it out or like get that thing off of you because you'll instantly get burned. And you probably know what napalm is in Vietnam. If you get what I mean. Anyway, so after seeing that scene, the body of Ida torn apart like he was nothing, and he also seems that has like one of his eyes was burned out, like his eyes were basically burned. His one of his arms were cut off, like it was cut through like a knife. As for Native, it's the most brutalist one out of all of them. He seems to have cuts all over his body, including his throat, but not the face. As there's blood stained on the wall, and that sign was the same logo as, well, my channel. Yeah, it's basically like their. Wait for a second. Sorry about that. It's basically like a natural symbol or like a symbol for for the sorry about that, for the unity of both the monster, human, and not monster and human. I meant monsters, demons, and angels. Uniting to basically fight the quirk users. So if you didn't realize that, then god damn it, just let me. Sorry about that. So after being told of this, and also seeing like the brutal state that Native is in, as they would be shocked as they see the symbol. The symbol was of a cross. Basically, it's just like my channel logo. Anyway, so after they saw that news broadcast, everybody was devastated, including, well, Hajime. Hajime felt like he was back in the olden days, back when he realized that Izumi was never going to come back. He felt devastated, angry, and enraged. So, after that, they started going on like nothing really happened. Everybody just stopped talking after the death of their classmate. Even though he was a bit of a butthead sometimes, he was still their classmate, and a really helpful one at that, keeping them in line. But after, well, losing him, it felt like the morale class was just gone. It was like completely gone. So, after that day, they started, well, stop talking for now, until Aizawa arrived, telling them that they're gonna be going to a training camp very soon. And it's imperative that everybody starts getting ready because they're going to be having a lot of training after that little incident. And so everybody reluctantly just decide to do it. Aizawa can clearly see that they're completely depressed. And so, for a surprising, well, thing to happen, well, Aizawa tells everybody that they should, like, maybe have some fun at least. As everybody was shocked after hearing that, including Hajime, because Hajime just, Hajime only knows Aizawa by his, like, temper and also a bit of his anger. So just seeing him saying that is giving off some weird signals. As he would say this, I'm not doing it just because you need to have some fun. I need you to do this because I'm kind of worried about you people. You're going to be the next generation of heroes, and I don't want you acting like this. And so they started, well, leaving. As Izuku, not Izuku, I meant Izumi, not Izumi, I meant Hajime, god damn it. You see what I'm going through right now. Anyway, so, well, Hajime starts going back to his dorm room as he looks quite a bit sad, as he decides to just get some rest for now. So, when he woke up from his little power nap, he starts getting ready to go somewhere to maybe have some fun. Maybe doing a bit of like vigilante work. So, he gets back his old costume, which is basically just a cloak, and so disappears into the night. Going through the city, he starts looking around, fighting some thugs and also some other low-level villains, until he meets another opponent, similar to the last ones in the, well, you know, the last ones in the, wait for a second, the last ones just like in the internship. As he looks over and sees two people. One of them seems to be wearing a mask, just like the other guys from before, as he can distinguish which one is a boy and which one is a girl, because one of them seems to be shorter, and he just realized that they're actually like uniforms. The one with the horn and the, well, pink skin seems to have a more feminine figure, and she seems that she has a similar uniform to that person. And the other, with the hardening quirk back then, had a similar uniform to this other guy over there. As he thinks that it's probably a boy and a girl. As his theory was correct. As this person lifts off like her like coat, revealing a almost feminine type of like clothing, as she controls some of the trash around them and starts hurling at, well, not Izuku, I meant Hajime, god damn it, as he starts maneuvering away, using his gun to start shooting at her. She seems to have the ability to manipulate gravity, judging by her ability. Like, well, wait for a second. Judging by her ability to manipulate gravity. In this case, like for example, when she points at, well, Hajime to the wall, Hajime starts falling to the wall like it was the floor, as he has a fight like this. Almost like the Sans fight in Undertale, but except even more harder and much more badass, even though it can't be seen. You just have to imagine it in your mind. And for the boy, he seems to have a ice and fire quirk, like Todoroki. He seems to have several scars on his arm, but only his side where he's able to use fire. And this fire was pure light, like pure white. As for his eyes, it's pure black, like blacker than the darkest night. As he starts shooting off ice and fire, which is pretty interesting for, well, Hajime to fight, but it was starting to get a bit old as he tries to finish him off. As the woman starts creating a ball of weird energy as she throws it at him, as when she does, it creates a blast as it causes him to fall to the floor. Like it was like he's completely so heavy. As they disappear, Hajime felt angry and wanted to find them, and he decides to leave. But when he goes back to the dorms, he goes over to the living room as everybody is watching the news. As they see the broadcast change from the news to the same, well, simple as my channel logo. Yeah, yeah, the channel logo is basically like completely prominent in this what if. As they see 7 figures, as these figures were basically silhouettes, so they look like this. So, one of the silhouettes, which was in the middle, seems to be the same boy. The boy with the crown, and seems to be wearing almost. Actually, nobody can clearly see, but they think it's probably like mobster clothing. As the boy says this: "It's nice to meet you all, you pathetic quirk users. I am Mobster, and we're here in behalf of Hell, Heaven, and the Monster Realm. And we shall take over this world. We shall take it over and make you quirk users our slaves. After all, you are monsters, and monsters should be chained up." As one of them, being a woman, seems to be wearing casual wear, as she seems to be, well, wielding a short sword. As she says this: "Yes, agreed. And I, the High Priestess, shall make you pay with your lives. And make you pay for what you did, for all the sins that you've committed." As another woman appears. This woman seems to be wearing maid-like clothing, as she says this: "Agreed. I, Neo, shall make you pay with your lives, and serve your sentences to death." As she transforms her arm into swords, like she's able to turn herself into liquid metal. As another person appears. "Yeah, agreed. You quirk users are nothing more than abusers of your power. And you heroes, you so-called heroes, are nothing more than pathetic fools." As she wields up gauntlets, as it's the same woman with that general's uniform that looks awfully like like a German style uniform. As she clacks her, well, both her, well, gauntlets together, as another person appears. "Yeah, you're going to pay with your lives." As her blade reaches for the camera but doesn't slice it, as she says this: "My blade shall make you suffer 1,000 deaths." As another person appears. He seems to be wearing biker type clothing and seems to be wearing a little boulder on top of that. As he says this, I bomb is going to explode you into a million pieces. As he slits one of his arms off, like he literally cuts himself as this his blood starts turning into a claw as his claw starts getting engulfed in flames. As he says this, after all, I did kill one of your students in UA. As he grabs the head of Ida, everybody was terrified seeing Ida's head just almost ripped apart. His jaw was just falling. As another person arrives, she seems to be wearing a yellow raincoat, but under that seems to be, well, lingerie. As she says this, yeah, I can't wait to meet some brand new people to play with, especially for my pets. As she smiles, even though nobody can clearly see it, they think she's obviously smiling. As the leader, being the one with the crown, says this, yeah, we are the Infernity Knights, and we're here to make you pay. Pay for what you've done to this world, and make this world anew with our rules and legislations. And one of our rules is, the quirkless shall rule as kings, queens, lords, and many things. But the quirk users shall be punished, shall be enslaved. Just like the reverse of your old, or at least your current world right now. When we come, we will make this world fall. As all of them laugh and laugh and laugh, as they pan out to see a large army of soldiers, each looking like monsters. Some of them look like werewolves, the others looking like vampires, others looking like half deer, half zombie, monstrous, whatever. As some look even more humanoid, some look like robots. As they pan out to another person, and this person seems to be illuminated by light. As she says this, I, Levizivan, wait for a second, god damn it, something happened. I, Levinza Nightmerton, shall make you pay. Now, the Superbia family is going to make you pay for what you did. And punish those worlds, these worlds like yours, and put them in their place. Because I, the head of the Superbia family, and the brand new Queen of Hell, shall make you fall. As they see a creature right behind her, looking like something horrifying. One side resembles a skeleton, the other side resembles a clown. The skull side seems to look like an antler. The clown side looking like it has a horn, as a broken halo is adorning that thing's head. One wing resembles a demon's wing, the other looking like an angel wing, and the attire of that creature looks like a clown. As one of his arms looks like tendons and a bony arm, the other looking like an arm that's completely covered by bandages. As she says this, now, the Empire shall make you fall to its knees. And you damn heroes, you call yourselves, are going to be falling to our will. And you will no longer be called heroes in our eyes, or in this world's eyes very soon. You'll be castrated, punished, ripped apart, executed, mutilated, whatever. You'll be punished as criminals. Now, enjoy your last days of being heroes, because soon we'll be coming. Because we are D. As it pans out to a kingdom of demons resembling several different types of creatures, and another section that seems more heavenly, as another that looks more like a kingdom that resembles, well, what do you think a kingdom usually looks like? Like, for example, like towns and like little bit of like castles and things like that. As she says this, we are the Empire, to Superbia family. As another person steps up, a woman. This woman seems to be, well, something else. She seems to have a golden, like, has two golden eyes and golden hair. The Cupiditas family. The other, a man with a large gut and bug-like eyes and bug-like wings appears as he says this, the Gula family. As another one appears, as this one looks like a Roman emperor with a gigantic ass bladed spear, as the woman says this, being, well, Lavenza Superbia, being, the Queen of Hell, and also I told you she was a key plot point in this series. the the Aram family. As the other comes out, another one comes out, I meant. This one seems to be more terrifying. He resembles a fish-like man, as he seems to have an anglerfish lore on his head. The Decidia family. As another one appears, the other seems to be even more fish-like. As they say this, the Nvidia family. And finally, another person arrives. This woman seems to have blue hair and blue eyes, and seems to be wearing a lot of pink. As they say this, the Lubidian family. As they say this, we are the leaders of hell, each representing the 7 deadly sins. Pride. Wait for a second. Pride. Wrath. Pride. Wrath. Lust. Greed. Sorry guys, I'm actually quite excited, so I kind of feel like I'm laughing. Anyway, so envy, gluttony, and finally sloth. As we go back to that heavenly world, as this heavenly looking person says this, you can call me the god of the machine, or you prefer to call me by, wait for a sec, or I like to call myself Deos, and I am the first creator, the first god, and I'm sorry, my children, but your hubris has been growing and growing, and now it's time for you to fall to your knees. As angels appear, these angels resemble, well, like your typical archangel wielding spears and things like that. As he would say this, and it's time for you to pay, just like Icarus, for daring to go up into the sun, for daring to soar high. He will fall, just like you. As we pan out to that kingdom again, as a man with several, well, fangs and teeth appear. This man seems to have blackish wings, as his eyes burn red with rage. As he says this, you damn monsters! You dare try and take over that world. You dare to call yourselves gods. But no more. I, Typhon, and my army of monsters shall help our army in this campaign of war. Now, it's time for you to pay with your lives. Dare to face our might. As several, cameras start panning out soldiers resembling monsters from different mythologies, from Indian to Japanese, to even Arabic, to even older and even older legends. As he would say this, because I, Typhon, shall bring my armies of death and destruction to you, quirk users. Even though you're not our quirk users, we still have a vengeance towards your kind. Especially those who killed my wife, my rightful queen. Now, these are your last days. You better pray to God. Or at least, your God at least. Because this world is gonna fall just like others. As he laughs, as the broadcast ends. So, this is going to be the end of this episode. Sorry guys, but this is going to be the end of the episode because my throat hurts after doing that little that exciting bit. Anyway, so I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and also don't forget to like the video so you can support my channel, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.